son. One night, the baby came into my room. She was pretending to talk on the phone. And I said, honey, who are you talking to? She said, Jordan. The fact that she knows his name infuriates me. I said, don't ever, ever talk to this man. He's a bad, bad man. Contacted the Department of Corrections and told them about the contact that was occurring between Jenny and Jordan. She denied me contact with Lee for 2 months as my punishment for betraying her. My only concern is what is best for Lee. Lee is the reason I live. I would die for her. I would kill for her. She's a very, very special little girl. That she survived what she did and has turned into the most wonderful, fantastic child, and that's my reward.
So everybody understands this. You're Jenny's mother, and Jordan is Jenny's son, and Lee, the baby, has now been adopted. So Jenny is both the grandmother and the mother because she's now adopted the child.
And I'm the great-grandmother and the grandmother.
Yeah, and it is very clear that she is not to allow any contact between Jordan and Lee, correct?
There's a restraining order prohibiting him from having any contact with Lee until Lee is 13 years old.
When this happened, she called a family meeting. I don't understand the theory under which you find this child beat nearly to death and you do anything other than get her immediately to the best help you can as fast as you can get her there.
Well, that's an indication of why I say I think the relationship is sick. I mean, that would be a normal response as far as I'm concerned, that if you, like I walked into my house and found this baby and I immediately called the police. I mean, there's nothing else, and an ambulance, there's nothing else that you would do.
And you have no idea what set your grandson off.
I have not had any contact with him since that day when I called him and told him I was going to kill him if I got my hands on him.
Well, describe him outside of this incident.
Jordan is always difficult. He was born and diagnosed in his early years with ADHD, ADD, personality disorders, low IQ, almost borderline retarded. He had a lot of trouble in school. He was shoplifting at 8 or 9 years old, never had a job, never had a car, never had any possessions to speak of. Tore up, sold, destroyed everything he ever had. About a year before the baby was born, I co-signed for an apartment for him because he didn't have any credit. He did about $16,000 worth of damage to that apartment by the time he was out of it. Anything that was broken, could be broken, was broken. He just flew into rages.
Okay, here's my question. Knowing that that's the history, and everybody knew this history, the school knew the history, the state knew the history, his mother knew the history, then why in God's name would anyone allow him access to an infant child?
Well, when Jenny told me that they were pregnant, I was appalled. And I said, this has the potential to be such a disaster in so many ways you can't even imagine. She said, oh, you're so negative. I said, Jenny, I'm not being negative, I'm being realistic. And I mean, I foresaw all kinds of disasters, never this.
All right, next, Jenny says she will always have a relationship with Jordan, her son, even after he beat his own baby nearly to death. In fact, she says she would stand by him even if he had killed Lee. So we're going to talk to her next.
When I saw the photos of Lee's abuse, it made me shake. He kicked her in her head. You could almost see a footprint.
And later, I've been at this 45 years. Somebody with a 54 IQ did not write that letter.
Tomorrow, from nurse's aide to living in her car.
I didn't put myself in this position.
You quit your job, then you get evicted.
I didn't get evicted.
She thinks there's a conspiracy.
Everybody was starting to act weird. The lady at the rent-a-car, people in my community.
What's the common denominator?
I'm not good at fractions. My blood is on your hands. That's when I was angry.
Yeah, and you get angry a lot.
Oh, stick around. That's nothing.
That's tomorrow.
You've just met him 15 seconds ago, and you're starting to fight with him.
Then on Thursday.
Jenny and her son have a dysfunctional relationship. She says she has to stand by him and that he deserves to be a parent. I flew into a rage when she said that to me. I slammed my hand down on the table and hollered. He relinquished all of his rights. Today, he put her on the floor and stomped on it.
Well, Jenny says she will always have a relationship with Jordan despite his being sentenced to 12 years in prison for nearly beating his 1-month-old baby to death.